Hey, everybody, and welcome back to episode 5. Before listening, please, can you guys subscribe below? I left Fiorentina to go play for Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo is a team in La Liga. It was fun. It was also good. We had a good year. In the league, we kind of slacked off a little bit only because we were doing so well in the Europa League. So that was a huge. Personally, playing wise, I didn't find the time that I wished that I did. I was always of the mentality that I had to go earn it. And during the season, I did get a few chances as a starter to play. I always thought I did well. And, teammates were happy with me. The coach actually said that he was very happy with me. That first game, I did very well. I got an assist. The second game, I scored a hat trick. My second hat trick of my career. I felt good. I felt like on top of the world. Like I felt like as if things are starting to click. And every time that I feel like I'm back to being Pepito, I'm back to being the player that I want to be, there's always something that happens. And yes, you guessed right. Another injury, third game, and I hear that famous crack noise. It was disturbing. It was very disturbing because without even doing the MRIs or going to the doc, I already know what happened. So there we are again. There we are again. When I'm feeling that I'm on top, something just pulls me back down. And yes, I had to get a ACL reconstruction. Celta Vigo didn't sign me again, so I was a free agent. I was home. I was just worried about recovering, hoping that after recovery, I'm able to find a team. These moments are very lonely and they're very dark because you don't know what's going to happen. I was lucky to obviously have my family around me. I was able to go home after long nights of, rehab, back to the family and just getting my mind off of things. Even though, deep down it kind of eats you up subconsciously, right? Something that you care for so much. But what kind of kept things afloat was the way that I went about it mentally. Each day has its own goal. I kept things very tight mentally because those distractions would just bring you down. So I never really bought into the what is going to happen in 2-3 months. Where am I going to be in 2-3 months? What I had and what I could control was the way that I went about each rehab session, each training session, and knowing that I still wanted to dream. I still wanted to keep it going. Yeah, I was, 30 years old, 31 years old. I still wanted it. I still wanted to be the best. Like, that was my mentality. I'm going to get back, and I'm going to be the Pepito that we all know, and I'm going to be the best. That was the mentality that kept me going. So after 8 months of rehab, 8 months of being home alone in the gym, not alone in life. Like I said, I have my family, so I was good under that aspect. I was able to finally get an offer from Genoa, a Serie A team. And truthfully, it was the only offer I had. So beggars can't be choosers. Therefore, whatever money they gave me, whatever it was, I accepted. Because for me, at this point in my career, it wasn't about the money. I didn't care about the money. I just care about being on the field. I care about feeling those emotions, competing, being part of a team, fighting for one another. Like that's what I wanted to feel again. And I accepted that offer, and Genoa I was. I had a good time in Genoa. I was very well respected in Italy, obviously. Fans love me, and I'm always appreciative of that. They embraced me, the fans and the players. I wasn't playing from the beginning, but it's normal because I had to show people that I was ready to go, that I was healthy. So it was another challenge for me. But I love challenges. I love it. And yeah, January came. I played my first game. It felt good after, 10 months. After 10 months, I was able to play my first game. All that hard work that I put in finally paid off. And I'm feeling good health-wise. My knees are good. They're responding well. I'm responding well on the field, training hard. Every time I come in, main games, things are happening. So I was feeling good. Then there's a game against Fiorentina. I finally start that game. It was my first game that I started all year, and it happened to be against my ex team. And I was able to score. I was able to score against Fiorentina. I didn't celebrate, but inside I was happy. I'll never forget when I was walking back to the half field. I was crying inside. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I was feeling so emotional inside. I didn't want to show it, obviously, but I was feeling very, very emotional inside because for those 5-10 seconds, I was thinking of the hardship of what I went through after that injury at Celta Vigo, and we're finally here, we're scoring, and feeling good. I literally thought that I was going to continue playing, that I was going to get continuity, right? Being a starter, but it wasn't like that. So I go up to the coach, I think a couple weeks after. I'm like, hey, coach, I'm doing well. I'm training well. I'm playing well. How come I'm not starting? I'll never forget this response. And I'm not making anything up. You're going to think this is a joke, but I'm not making this up. I don't need to make things up. The coach was like, Jose, you know why you're not playing? Because you're too good. Because the players around you don't understand you. So I can't afford to have players on the field that don't connect, that don't understand each other. And when I heard this, I had no rebuttal because I could not imagine that was going to be the response. I never thought that somebody who is good at what he does can't benefit from it because of exactly what he said. So I kind of chuckled. I kind of laughed it off. I didn't even know how to respond. I just I think I just went, okay, coach, okay. Let's just see how it goes. I don't even know what I responded, but what I heard was the craziest thing I ever heard, man. The craziest thing I ever heard. So I think there was 3 or 4 games left. So I kind of took those 3 or 4 games with, not that I had to prove anything anymore. Not that I had a chip on my shoulder, but it was just let's have fun, man. Let's just enjoy it, right? Because even if you do good, you're not going to play. It's just as simple as that, right? That time in Genoa happened. The season ended, and I did not want to sign again with them. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be part of that project just because of the things that I heard from that coach. So here comes the summer of 2018. When it rains, it pours, man. When it rains, it pours. And I'll tell you why. And this time it has nothing to do with injuries. But when I'm finally getting back into some momentum, I'm not going to say that the old Pepito's back yet. No, because I still didn't get a chance on the field to prove continuously what I'm capable of giving, right? I had little spurts here and there with Genoa. I got drug tested the last game of the season. And that drug test, somehow, turned out positive. Now, it turned out positive because of this substance. This substance that has nothing to do with performance enhancing. Nothing at all. It is a substance that's found only, listen to this, only with people that have glaucoma. Glaucoma. That little bit of whatever it is that was inside of me, I think it was called dorzolamide, which is a substance that's on the list of things that are allowed. It's not on the banned substance list. Okay? Just to make you guys understand a little bit this picture that I'm dealing with. I had to go from America to Italy at least 3 or 4 times from that summer till January 2019. Because in that period, I couldn't play. Nobody wanted me because if I was suspended, I couldn't play for them. So they didn't want to take that risk. And I had offers. I had offers from Sporting Lisbona. I had an offer from Udinese because the old director, Daniele Prade, who was at Fiorentina, wanted me at at Udinese. So these are great offers, right? I'm happy because I'm back on the map. I'm back in the soccer map. But no. I had to deal with this bullshit. Yes, bullshit. So I had to fly back 3-4 times from America to Rome to talk to the head of the anti-doping committee. And it was this old dude, man. This old dude, I feel like didn't have nothing to do but just wake up and call me and be like, "Hey, you got to come to Rome because we're having this assembly, all of us." So here comes January, and there's a trial. It's me against the head of the anti-doping, 9 people that had to vote, and the vote went in my favor. It was the dumbest thing about a substance that nobody even heard of. Nobody ever heard of this damn substance. I had to go to the doctor in Italy to get my eyes checked. Some crazy thing to just show the head of the anti-doping that I didn't have no glaucoma. That's how ridiculous it was. So that took, what's that? July to January. That's another 6 months, right? Another 6 months of just waiting, of being home and training by myself again. And I was feeling fit. I wasn't even rehabbing. I was just trying to maintain. But with the question mark of what the hell's going to happen? So after that craziness passed, it was in the middle of the season in Europe, so they weren't going to take any players. And I had the opportunity to go to the MLS. I was able to go to the MLS because that was the time frame of when it started, right? In the February time frame, March. I got a call from Real Salt Lake City. We put a couple numbers together, and I signed for them. So this is my take and my story on the MLS and my experience. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. For me, soccer is passion. Soccer is love. It's in my blood. Like, it's literally in my blood. It's part of my family. My dad didn't go to his job, which was a teacher in high school, on Monday if his team, Milan, lost. Like, that's how crazy we are. For me, being in that environment and feeling me being in that environment of the MLS and just seeing and taking in what I'm observing is totally opposite from my way of approaching the game. There's a lot of people in the MLS that take this sport as a hobby. All right, as a hobby. Is not their everything. So that's what I felt when I first got there. It's hard for me to adapt in that environment because I don't want to give up on what I believe in. I don't want to give up in the goals that I put forth going to Salt Lake City. I wanted to get back out there and playing and compete and be an important part of the team. And you know what? I wanted to try and change that mentality. Maybe that was a mistake of mine, but I don't care. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get to that point to where the players would follow me under that aspect of how do we approach games? How do we approach the training sessions, each drill? Feel as if it's an important part of your day, and not just thinking, yeah, it's just 2-hour training, get past this, and then I'm gonna go do my stuff with my friends, my family, or whatever it is that they have planned. So that's where I found a lot of difficulty, being stubborn and not adapting to that mentality. But I'm okay with that. I don't take that as a regret. I'm okay with that because the way that I think about the game, the way that I dream about myself in the game, that's something that can't be changed, right? Nothing around me can change it. It didn't change me when coaches weren't picking me for World Cups or Euros. It didn't change me after all the injuries. So this is not going to be one of the things that's going to change that part. Another thing that I didn't like and that just ticked me off was the coaching. I had to bite my tongue a lot. Right? I had to bite my tongue a lot. The coaching isn't up to par. We had a coach that came from the youth. And listen, there's a big difference when you're training youth and you're training first-team players, especially first-team players with my type of experience and my type of personality. I was never a hothead. Never, never. But I was serious about what I was doing. Very, very serious. And it came a time where I didn't see eye to eye with this coach. And it was kind of like building up because he saw me more as a threat than somebody that could help. From day one, I told him I'm here to help. I'm not here to be an enemy. When you feel insecure about things, when you see people in the environment that could possibly know more than you, that can possibly teach you things, you start becoming defensive. Because a coach is never going to go to a player and be like, hey, what do you think this or what do you think that? So that was something that I felt, that I perceived during those months. And it got to a point to where I wasn't even playing. I wasn't even playing, which is mind-boggling. Yes, it was COVID. It was during the COVID year. We had a long layoff. Still, doesn't matter. I wasn't playing. And I kept it very professional. I worked my butt off. I made sure that I trained good because I didn't want to hear nobody say that I'm not playing because I'm not training. So that was my mentality. Train your butt off, gain the respect of everybody else, and be an example. So that's what I did. Comes a game. We're in Orlando in Disney World because that was where the COVID tournament happened, which was ridiculous. I can't believe we were in Disney World playing these games. We lose a game, and then the coach starts complaining about the players who came in. So I came into that match. He said a couple things. Rage was building up on me. I had my buddy to the left of me, Marcelo Diaz. He was saying, Jose, tranquilo, tranquilo. I'm like, I can't, man. I stand up and I just start saying, hey, listen, you guys got to do better. Us coming in, we're working our tails off. I can't say nothing bad about any of these players that did come in. You guys got to do better. And when that happened, coach starts coming after me. I'm going head to head with him, and it was close. Just put it that way. It was very close. And after that, I kind of understood that this isn't going to work out, right? This isn't going to work out because I can't be around a bunch of amateur coaches. The players were great. I loved everybody. I got along with everybody. And, still to this day, I still talk to a couple of the players there from RSL. And I always keep tabs on them. I really do, man. I really do. And I met some good people, some good players, but the coaches, I couldn't digest them. So that was my time in RSL. It was time to go back to Europe. I couldn't do another experience in America just for these reasons. I wasn't ready to give up on my career. A lot of people go to the MLS because they want to have fun and they want to enjoy themselves. Good for you. No problem at all. But I wasn't ready for that in my time. I feel like I had to gain back all the things that I lost during all these injuries. I just knew it was time for me to leave that environment because I still didn't want to give up on my career. I didn't want to give up on the dream just yet. I still felt like I needed to chase all that time that I lost from injuries, from not going to World Cups and Euros. See, those were things that I wanted to be part of my story. So I was chasing them, and I wasn't ready to give up. I wanted to get back to Europe, but it was tough. It was tough because not only did I decide after the MLS experience to clean up a couple of things in my knee, I didn't play much. I played only 7 games because of, obviously, the things that happened. So teams were, very hesitant. I had history with injuries. People knew my qualities and what I could give. So it was hard. And it was very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I didn't think I would be at this point in my career where it's like, hey, guys, give me a chance. It's me. I know what I could do on the field. But unfortunately, that's what it was. I did get a chance then to sign with Spal. And it was great. It was great only because I was able to come back playing. I had my first season with Spal. I scored 3 goals. I was important. There were 3 very important goals that helped Spal not get relegated, so I was very happy. And then the last one, I promise you, it's the last one. another knee injury during a game that I started. That I was towards the end of the season when I was going to be starting more regularly. And unfortunately, it happened. Against Brescia, jump, down, crack. I went to the doctor. I'm like, Doc, I went back to Texas because that's where I used to always get my surgeries. I'm like, Doc, what are we going to do here? I want to play. I need to have one more season in me. I cannot leave the game injured. I want to leave the game on my own 2 feet. I want to have my destiny in my own hands. That's what I told the doctor. The doctor was like, listen, Giuseppe, from the MRIs, this is what you have. There was a partial tear, a little bit of a meniscus problem, a partial tear of, the ACL. But it was a significant tear. It wasn't fully, but it was a significant tear. There's 2 options. I have to go inside and see. First option is the total reconstruction, and that's going to be much longer. The second option is going to be a cleanup. A cleanup, strengthening that ACL graft and get you out there in 5 months instead of a year. I'm like, Doc, you know my answer. And that answer was that 5 months. But if you got to do reconstruction, do it. So I go under the knife, nervous because I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen. I come out after a couple, 2-3 hours of surgery, and the doc was like, we went with option A, which was the 5 months staying off the fields and whatnot. And I was happy. I started crying. The same situation actually happened to me in 2007 with the same doctor. I didn't say it in the past episodes. I probably forgot to, but this wasn't a new feeling to me where I went under the knife, and I didn't know what the outcome what the outcome was going to be. And I was lucky, if you want to call me lucky, that both outcomes came out where I didn't have to do a full reconstruction, but I just had to strengthen the graft. So I'm back at it. Rehab. I'm back at it to where my mindset at this point is, stop chasing, man. Stop chasing. You're 35. What are you chasing? There's nothing else to chase. You did everything in this sport. You lived a life that many would have dreamed to live. You made so many people proud. So there's nothing else to chase. Enjoy it. So that was my mentality towards this rehab. And I didn't have a team because with Spal, obviously, they didn't want to take a chance on me injured. I called the president. I was like, hey, can we do this again? Let's run it back. And they were kind enough to give me another contract. But for me, this time, it was just about putting my own destiny in my own hands. I was able to play 5 games that year. I was happy. I didn't care about goals. I didn't care about how many minutes I played. I didn't care about much of that extra stuff. For me, it was just being on the field in my happy place for the last time that last year. And I did so 5 times. I had my family in the stands cheering me on. I had my mother and my sister come visit me from America to see one of my last games. I couldn't ask for more, man. I couldn't ask for more. After that season, on July 22nd, 2023, I announced my retirement from the game. Why July 22nd, 2023? Because July 22nd was my father's birthday. The dream, our dream, ended on his birthday. And it's kind of like a gift given to my father. Just saying, Papa, we did it, right? We lived out our dream. We did what we had to do since we were, was it 2 years old, where he was putting cones in the backyard and me just going in and out. We lived the life that we wanted to live. And now let's enjoy it. So yeah, I'm a retired, horrible to say that, retired soccer player, living the best life that I can, missing the game so much. I started my academy right there, Giuseppe Rossi Academy. Right now it's an individually based training sessions that I give kids that are serious enough to want to learn the game, that want to take that extra step. I get involved with other academies to try and implement my views, my methods that I like to teach the game, how I like to teach the game. And for me, it's very important giving back. Giving back what I learned throughout all these years with playing with the best players and playing under the best coaches in every environment possible. Just giving back. Giving back. Today, I feel like the soccer youth here in America is broken. I feel like the direction that it's in is not the right way. So it's not the right way that the game is being taught. For me, youth soccer, the first thought should be the youth. Where today, I don't think it's like that. It's more about how much can I charge families to make their kids be part of this program. And it's very expensive. Very, very expensive. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that because a family should never pay $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to make their kids be part of a program. Unless you have a product that's amazing, then you could justify it. Maybe. But I don't see any products here today that are able to give the kid what they need in order to make that next step. So that's something that I'm very adamant about since leaving the game. Trying to give back in a way that is different. Is different from what is out here. Because not many people care about teaching the game the right way. So that's my objective in the short term. Hopefully one day have organized teams, having my method being established among the youth, and just continue to grow the game the right way. And now my favorite part of the show, Pepito's hot take. So we had a very, very interesting game this weekend. It was Milan versus Juventus. And in that game, the headlines here in America were American superstars versus American superstars. So I'm asking you, who do you guys prefer? The Milan superstars, Pulisic and Musa, or the Juventus superstars, McKinney and Timothy Weah? Who I'm going for, and it's very close, very, very close, and I'll tell you why I'm going with the Juventus pairing. McKinney, because I like his consistency in performances. He's playing many games, almost every game, right? He's showing to be a very important part of the Juventus squad. Then you have Timothy Weah. He's still very raw. He plays yes and no. Plays one good game, one bad game. Consistency's a little bit off, but it's okay. He's young. There's a learning curve, and that's beautiful. He's not scared to make mistakes, which I like, because that's the only way that you're going to learn from them. But make the mistakes because you're trying to do the best for the team and for yourself, and not for YouTube videos, correct? If he's able to mature mentally, humble himself, and just know the things that he has to work on in order to become a star, then we definitely got something special there. But he has all the qualities to be that guy, right? To be a Rafa Leao, if he wants to be, right? Because he has those qualities. Can he mature mentally to get to that point? And it's not a knock to Pulisic or to Musa. Musa is very similar to McKinney. Very, very similar to the way they play, the tenacity, the way that they go and recover balls, the way that they play. It's just I see more consistency in McKinney at this point. And Pulisic, more experience, older player. Older, what is he, 25? Still young. But, he showed a glimpse of greatness. I need to see more consistency. I need him to get out of that mentality of being a very good role player and get into superstar mentality, to where he can be decisive in every single game, to where he continues to build that respect around him from not only his teammates but from players all around the league. And I think he started off so well at Milan that if he continues that, he'll definitely be on the list of superstars of the Serie A. So that's my take, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.